viewers, let's now shift our focus to the Laddoo controversy, the Tirupati Laddoo controversy. Times Now has exclusively accessed probe files which carry proof of ghee adulteration in black and white. Times Now has accessed CBI's report on the investigation. It says ghee tender conditions were relaxed without proper justification and scientific study. This relaxation opened the door for dairies that neither procured their own milk nor had adequate experience or established reputation. In May 2022, samples were drawn from 3 dairies and sent to CFTRI, Mysore, for testing. The lab reports dated August 3, 2022 confirmed the detection of a chemical in all samples. Shockingly, viewers, these adverse reports were suppressed and not placed before the then additional executive officer A.V. Dharma Reddy, who supervised ghee procurement. No follow-up action was taken despite these kind of findings. Now, these revelations lend credence to the claims made by Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, who had alleged that laddus were made using chemically adulterated ghee during the previous YSRCP government. In response, former Chief Minister Jagan Reddy accused Naidu of spreading falsehoods, saying CBI probe showed no animal fat was present. But his own MP, Subba Reddy, admitted that traces of chemicals were actually detected.
కల్తీ అయిన ఘీ బాధేస్తుంది. అలాంటి ఘీ తీసుకొచ్చారు. మామూలు కెమికల్స్ తో తయారు చేశారు. పేపర్లో వస్తే నాకే ఆశ్చర్యం వస్తా ఉంది. ఎలాంటి కెమికల్స్ అంటే మన బాత్రూముల్లో వేసి క్లీన్ చేసే కెమికల్ ని ఘీలో వేసి దాన్ని మళ్ళీ లడ్డు చేసి మనం తినే పరిస్థితికి వచ్చామని వస్తున్నాయి. శ్రీశైలంలో కూడా కల్తీ జరిగిందని కెమికల్స్ రెండున్నాయి. కెమికల్స్ వాడినప్పుడు కొన్ని వెజిటబుల్ వాడతారు. వెజిటబుల్ ఫ్యాట్ వాడితే ఎక్కువ రేటు, అనిమల్ ఫ్యాట్ అయితే తక్కువ రేటు. అది కూడా కలిపారని ఎన్డీడీబీ రిపోర్ట్ ఇచ్చే పరిస్థితికి వచ్చారు.
సిబిఐ ఫైల్ చేసిన ఛార్జ్ షీట్ లో ఏకంగా ఎన్డీడీబీ నేషనల్ డైరీ డెవలప్మెంట్ బోర్డు రీసెర్చ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ సంబంధించిన ల్యాబ్ రిపోర్టు, ఎన్డీఆర్ఐ నేషనల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ రీసెర్చ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ కు సంబంధించిన ల్యాబ్ రిపోర్టు, ఈ రెండు కూడా కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వ సంస్థలు, రీసెర్చ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్. వీళ్ళు చేసిన శాంపుల్స్ అన్ని కూడా, ల్యాబ్ అనాలిసిస్ అన్ని కూడా చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా ఉండగా, చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు టీటీడీ ఈఓ, చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు మనిషి టీటీడీ ఈఓగా ఉండగా, చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారి హయాంలో సేకరించిన ఈ నమూనాలు ఇవి సిబిఐ వాళ్ళ ఆధ్వర్యంలో ఎన్డీడీబీకి, ఎన్డీఆర్ఐకి పంపించి ల్యాబ్ రిపోర్ట్లు అక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చి
దాంట్లో సిట్టు ఎంక్వైరీలో ఛార్జ్ షీట్ ఫైల్ చేసిన దాన్ని బట్టి ఇందులో జంతు కొవ్వు కలవలేదు అని చెప్పారు. జంతు కొవ్వు కలవలేదు కాబట్టి ఇది వేరే పదార్థాల కల్తీ జరిగింది, జంతు కొవ్వు మాత్రం కలవలేదు అని చెప్పారు.
And joining us on this debate is Deepak Reddy, national spokesperson of the TDP. We have Margani Bharatram, national spokesperson and ex-MP, Lok Sabha, YSRCP. Good evening to both of you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us here on this debate. Margani Bharatram, to you first. The question is very simple. You know, vindication is being claimed by your party and former Chief Minister of the state, Mr. Reddy. But the question really is that adulteration of ghee is a reality. It happened. And there was a lab report in 2022 that also showed adulteration, but nothing really was done about it. The question is why? Was it intentional? Because people of a particular faith today are feeling betrayed. That's the charge of the TDP.
Yeah, very good evening. Here, the world has to know the actual facts. One point I'm very clear in this: the 4 tankers which were went to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, which was sent by AR Dairy, was rejected, and it was sent back and reused. It was sent back to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam by Vaishnavi Diary. And those samples were collected by the time when TDP was in power, not YSRCP. When the CBI has submitted the report to the Honorable Court, and it clearly mentions the NDDB and the NDRI report says there were no traces of animal fat. But why Mr. Chandrababu Naidu is constantly giving a negative image and squandering
no traces of animal fat? Agreed.
Yes.
But there were traces of chemicals. There was a report in 2022 that said exactly the same thing.
I'll come to your point. But unconditionally, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu should owe an apology to all the Hindu communities across the globe. Then why, without any knowledge, why he can make a statements like that?
Okay, I will get Mr. Deepak ready to respond to that. But before that, I want to ask you again very quickly. You're saying when it comes to laddus, the prasad for which people from not just India but across the world come to this temple, for you, it's okay, you're happy that thankfully animal fat wasn't there, but you don't have a problem if chemicals were there? I mean, come on, what are you even trying to say?
No, that is a serious issue. That's a serious problem. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, I wanted to showcase you one fact.
First you answer the direct question that I asked you. I will get Deepak ready to respond to the specific point you have made, but you respond to this question of mine. You're okay with the fact that chemicals are being mixed?
Will never accept any adulteration in the ghee and in Maha Prasadam as well. In 2018, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's regime, they have procured an enhanced flavor for ghee, which the record says. In 2018. In 2018.
Okay, Mr. Bharat Ram, you've made your point. Allow others to respond now. Deepak Reddy.
Okay. Heena, these people have been making so much of false information. I need to tell the facts. Just give me 2 minutes and please mute his mic because he has a habit of disturbing. I've seen in earlier debates. 219 temples were desecrated during their 5-year tenure and not a single temple was attacked in the last 1.5 years. So you can understand the motive there. And the second thing, Jagan Reddy's uncle, who was the chairman of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams then, came on air and spoke to national media saying that adulteration took place, but there was no animal fat. So prima facie adulteration is something what is accepted. Now I would like to come to the chronology so that even a layman can understand what exactly happened. Once we came to power, we saw a whole lot of complaints coming from the devotees that the laddu quality is not good. Then a sit was established. The sit went into the details and then sent for a test. And NDBB report came out clearly saying that 2 different reports came out saying that there was contamination. And then they went into the details. Tender document was checked. The conditions were relaxed. In-house lab was shut down and the orders were given to these agencies. Then we looked into the details. The Karnataka government dairy which was supplying, they stopped taking from there. There was foul smell reported by the people who make the laddu. Those complaints are there. They didn't bother to act on those complaints. And the 2022 CFTRI Mysore lab report came out. They didn't even bother to even look at that. And during their tenure, hundreds of complaints were there on social media, which is live, which we can check, and they didn't act on that. And what is surprising and shocking is when the team went to inspect the plants didn't have minimum capacities to supply this kind of a quantity. So that's when they dug into the details. So they didn't have a diary supporting that. They didn't have linkage to the milk to access also. So there was no milk used. It was only chemicals. And once they went into the paperwork, clearly chemical traces were found that they imported chemicals from abroad and from multiple companies within India. So that's when they looked at the tankers, where they came from. They did not come through the proper toll booths. They came from open market is what we have identified. Okay. So there is a clear-cut trail of this fraud in paper and through cash. Okay. They cannot escape. They have done one of the biggest crime and they've played with the sentiments of Hindus and so shamelessly they come and trying to defend themselves now. At least an apology. That is the minimum they can do. Saying that, yes, the mistake has happened and we apologize.
Will the former chief minister apologize is the question that's being asked, Mr. Bharat Ram. You know, given the points that Mr. Deepak Reddy made, one can say that there were lapses at multiple levels. And
Not
one
at
thing
all.
even you will agree with, that somebody from your party only has come out and accepted that adulteration of ghee was happening. It happened.
No, not at all.
Wasn't
Subba
it
Reddy-
betrayal then?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I
Mr.
just
Subba
played
Reddy-
the soundbite. I just played the soundbite of YSRCP MP.
Let me come to your... let me come to you. See, Mr. Subba Reddy has mentioned that the CBI report says it was mentioned that adulteration was happened. That doesn't mean that we have
So
accepted
if
it.
you're acknowledging adulteration happened, if you're acknowledging adulteration
I'm
happened,
not-
there was a lab report that came out in 2022 that spoke about adulteration at that time as well. Do you think then deliberately nothing was done about it?
No, who sent to the lab report? Subba Reddy ji himself, when the complaints came to Subba Reddy ji, he has sent to the lab reports. He has sent the samples to the lab reports to get the lab reports when the adulteration was happened. And I wanted to convey one more thing. In 2018, when Chandrababu Naidu was in power, he has procured the aromatic ghee, which is artificial ghee for the
Deepak
flavor.
Reddy, quick
for
response,
enhancing
10
flavor.
seconds, and I'll have to wind up this debate. Deepak Reddy. Deepak Reddy.
It's so shocking. I mean, I've just shown it's on air. To a national media, he's accepted that adulteration has taken place. But the only thing they're trying to play around saying that it is not animal fat. It is really shocking that these people are still behaving like this. The minimum they can do is apologize. Apologize is the minimum thing they can do. So it is absolutely clear. Hundreds of complaints in social media they didn't attend to. The complaints in the temple they didn't bother. The foul smell complaints from the people who were making the ghee, they did not bother. CRI report they did not bother. Karnataka Diaries warning they did not bother.
All right. So we'll leave it there, but we'll see what happens in this case ahead, because TDP is now demanding an apology from former Chief Minister, Mr. Reddy, and as far as this matter is concerned, the report has been submitted to the court. We'll see how the court is going to look at what has come out in this report by SIT. Thank you very much, both of you gentlemen. I'm completely out of time. Appreciate you joining us here on Times Now. With this, viewers, we'll slip into a very, very short break. We'll be back with lots more. Stay with us.